Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mark Fluet broadcast. Today we're going to talk about a real special subject, and that subject is the Kundalini. The planet Earth is alive, just as we are, with the Kundalini. 13,000 years ago, that Kundalini was in Tibet, where the Buddhist monks are. Recently, it's moved, however, to the country of Chile, believed in the Andes Mountains. These next two stories are going to be something unique, because what is happening is that in Australia there's a drastic climate change. Not just climate, but continent. And this continent is coming exactly the way it was told long ago. And it's happening right in front of you. It's something so magnificent that you couldn't even begin to understand it. But it's happening on this planet, and the frequencies are raising. People are waking up at a massive result, at a massive rate. And we are making that difference. All the way around, we are making that difference. So keep your eyes on Australia, and you'll see the changes that are coming, because this continent is there. It was in the last broadcast we talked to you about the phony results from the International Space Station, so don't buy that. The second story is going to be a little bit of a meditation on how to get to that Kundalini, how to get the one inside you so you're connected to that God essence, connected into it. It is something that's so important that you have to be able to listen to it yourself. So without further ado, let's go to the first story, and you can see for yourself. This is coming from Atablar. It's coming from another source. So like I said, investigate everything. You'll be able to see what we're talking about. Once you're able to get to the results and you see that continent flowing yourself, you'll understand. Let's go to the first story.
Friends of our channel and YouTubers, welcome. Answers of an Alien from Andromeda, Video 115, April 16, 2014. Friends, in these times the CG will not interfere with the nature of the planet, since, according to them, the planet is reaching the limits of time for processing that must happen for the new configuration to happen for the new phase. The Arcturians are removing the pressure containers that were installed for the process to happen at the last possible moment, allowing time for more people to be prepared to raise your personal frequencies. According to current data, plus 2% of the population join the band frequency compatible to coexist with the level 1, rising to 24% of the overall total. This extra time ensured the rise from 10 to 24%. That is, it was very worthwhile. The planet is no longer a reformatory planet. The people who remain here will be the actual users of the planet as its true home, the race of people on planet Earth. The poles will migrate as soon as the balance of the system is restored to normal. As you can notice, the planet Venus is growing brighter in the sky. Since they initially decided to change the orbit of Venus to a more appropriate area for a future settlement, the system was kept somewhat more stable. Interference by the large object that is in a stationary orbit on the south quadrant of the planet Earth. As the system will react to changes, the CG takes initiatives about what is being done at the time by its scientists. We will only really know when they begin operations. We are awaiting the tectonic responses, to see what happens to the poles. As yet there is only 1 month. The Arcturians started off control probes placed in the places of greatest tension. The process may happen in the natural course of events there anytime. With respect to Venus, your scientists will not talk about the case, but your amateur astronomers, more serious and qualified, may accompany these changes. With the great movement of ships on the Moon, even your amateur astronomers can easily check the reality of the presence of these brothers of other races present in lunar bases. Any ship coming from a base on the Moon only takes a few minutes to be here within your atmosphere, so is the same as being here in Antarctica base. You know that I cannot give information or regional predictions about natural phenomena, cannot influence this aspect and act like a prophet or something, but note that the facts are in front of you. Use your observations to intuit about what should be prepared. You all will be well as you are consciously prepared to face any fact. Keep in mind that the only thing that will try to destroy you is yourself, and yet you will not succeed because you are indestructible. The intelligent races living a long time on the planet and who are still here are the various ethnic groups of humanoids of our type known. A descendant of a Tunes group who stayed here by their own will on a trial basis. This is the race that works as counselors of your elites in exchange for means to survive. Very intelligent beings with an IQ of over 160 but little practical to build things manually. The only anatomical difference is that they have the elongated cranial box and without the palate. 2 races of aquatic humanoids that are like amphibians breathe beings. They appear humanoid with a crossing of marine mammals such as dolphins, and are a very old breed, more than 50,000 years in the planet. Isolated groups of humanoid type that you call Sasquatch. Race that was planted here by ancient reptilians to work as slaves and auxiliary hunts but what did not work satisfactorily. They were left to their own fate. Isolated groups of ancient beings connected to your mythology called Satyr, that originate from ancient DNA experiments made by ancient reptilian races that frequented the planet for over 30,000 years ago. This is one of the only old experimental races that survived until today, in small isolated groups in inhospitable regions of the planet. Isolated groups of beings originating of insectoid race that you call night crawlers, which relate well with Sasquatch. They came here to study life forms in your insect fauna, which is great, and ended up on the planet. Even still having their ships to return to home planet, they decided to stay here, and keep experiences and sending reports to the scientific community of their planet. The insectoid think differently from us. Sometimes it's hard to philosophize with them on other issues than his duties and guidelines. Isolated groups of reptilians, and a certain breed of greys working with them, who are stranded on bases of your government laboratories, and could not have left the planet for a ban on movement of ships reptilian on the planet since 2012. Isolated group of hybrid origin, who lived and survived for thousands of years in the remote mountains of Tibet. Many Pleiadians living in your communities as well as observers, for at least 100 of years. Many of them considering Earthlings by being born here now for over 2 generations. They cannot influence your societies, only maintains constant contact with the teams that have stepped up surveillance on the planet, after the detonation of the first nuclear bomb by your military. The races that had to live isolated by their major differences from most humanoid races, had their technological development virtually prevented by not being able to expose their groups, but this does not mean that the mental and spiritual development of them was affected by it. Other breeds of brothers that you will meet in a short future like Pleiadians, Arcturians, Camelopardalis, Atunians, Aldebarans, Alcades, Sirius breeds, Chthonics, Rigel Centaurs breeds among many other races. Some will be cute to your concept, others will be ugly, but you will learn over time that physical beauty is relative to what you feel inside the chest. The anatomy depends on the adaptability developed for life on other environments, therefore an Arcturian will always be strange to you, but if you know him with the lights off, what would your inside would capture is the friendship they have pleased to share with others. The larger concept of living between different races is the ability to live with differences, and understand that what brings happiness to you might be a different thing that gives the happiness of another being. Each race has its own priorities and aspirations. The galactic communities try to help each one reach their welfare, without thereby affecting the welfare of his neighbor. Unfortunately, in your own planet, between the ethnic groups of the same race, these differences are not respected. For that reason, the planet may have the right to enter into a community that strives for harmony, will have to be filtered so that society is of an acceptable level of understanding. When you think that all is lost, be sure that we will help you to find the solutions. Be well all of you.
Alright, this next is basically a Kundalini meditation. And you can search these things on YouTube. And it's an instructor by the name of Karina Virginia. And she's going to explain the process of tapping into that inner self and then amplifying this truth into the self-projection. She demonstrates a simple yet powerful practice, and she does it with grace and easy to follow sequence. Meditation itself creates a powerful field that you can only feel from experience. It's like people say, what proof? Everything in this world is electromagnetic. It's electromagnetic charge. And it really is, because everything is energy. From love is energy. Water is energy. And we've got proof of that because we can use water to create free energy. We can use the solar energy of the sun to create free energy. So everything is electromagnetic. Everything is energy. Once you understand this, and you stop believing radio people, like these people have said radio intelligence, that's an oxymoron, because it's not. It's 3D thinking. Albert Einstein said there's 11 dimensions to reality. So if you put yourself into three-dimensional thinking of this only, you're missing so much, because this is not all of reality. Allow this to at least tap into something in your brain. Allow this to tap into you. Allow this to speak to you in a way that you see it. Unlike religions, this is not something that's going to be met on Sundays or have an offering. This is something that says this is your responsibility. Take self-responsibility. Once you have mind, body, and soul all balanced, you're going to show by example. You're going to lead by example, because you're complete, you're whole. Your spiritual life, your physical life. Because you know self-responsibility, you just do what you have to do, and it becomes a lot easier. And people see this. You may not, but people see it. You have to allow this energy to work for you, and that's the most important part. And if anything you get out of this story, get the fact that this part she's telling you is easy. Once you're able to understand that energy is all around you, once you're able to understand that meditation is a quick absorption of that energy, and there's things that has to be done in order, there's things that you have to learn to do, but for yourself. I mean, nowhere in time does that song from Michael Jackson should have more meaning. Man in the Mirror? You want to change something, start with yourself. Start with your inner peace, your inner self. And start taking yourself responsibility. This is what the best thing and advice I can give you. But realistically, all these are just tools. It's like my book, Pleiadian Knowledge, is just tools. This is not going to do it for you. This is not writing all the answers down. This is just showing you the path of taking the tools for yourself so you can take responsibility. Because after all, in the long run, it is your responsibility. Your responsibility, and you're responsible for everything you do, everything in your walk, everything in life. If you're having a bad day, it's your fault. If you're white lefty, it's probably your fault. If you're sick, it's your fault. I know it sucks to hear it, but it's true. Start taking self-responsibility. Start being within. Within is where you're going to get the answers. Now, without further ado, let's go to this great creative affirmation on magnetic resonance.
By changing the concept we have of ourselves that we can attract prosperity, goodness, magic into our lives. Because the concept we have of ourselves becomes our consciousness, and that consciousness is reverberated out into the auric fields, and the universe responds to that vibration. So we are shifting our vibratory signal to the universe with this I Am meditation. And it's quite simple. You can practice it daily or practice it anytime you need to shift your perspective from fear to love, from lack to abundance, from insecurity into confidence and self-esteem. When we think about changing our thoughts, and we just sit and say, okay, I'm going to think a positive thought this afternoon. Something happens where the blocks come right in. And we say, why should I think a positive thought right now? How am I going to think a positive thought? But you don't have to go there. You just come into this meditation and you allow it to happen by simply affirming yourself. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. And observe how the magic begins to take place in your psyche, in the space around your body, and observe how attractive you become. This is one of the most profound meditations and one of the most magnificent ways to shift beyond your fear, to move out of your own resistances so that you can move through your own blockages and come out on the other side by changing your thought patterning. Like attracts like. So be in your like, be in your own love so that you can bring in all sorts of abundance into that electromagnetic field, into your life, into the lives of those you love. You deserve it. we're going to bring our left hand in front of our heart center. There's about 6 inches between the heart center and the palm. The left fingers are pointing towards the right and the fingers are together. We chant aloud, I am, in this meditation, but silently we want to listen to a positive thought, a positive affirmation in our mind. So for example, as we're chanting I am, we're thinking beautiful, we're thinking prosperous, healthy. So it becomes I am aloud and silently blissful, beautiful, abundant, worthy, I am enough. And what happens is in time, we begin to believe these affirmations so much that we send that vibration out into the world and we manifest. We manifest in the most natural and magnificent way with ease. Not pushing, not controlling, not checking off all our to-do lists, but just being in the vibration of spirit. So the hand comes right in front of the heart, right hand in Gyan Mudra, and we're going to be chanting I am aloud as we bring the hand 2 inches closer to the heart center. Then we chant aloud I am as we reach the hand 8 inches further from the heart. Then a nice gentle inhale through the nose to bring the hand back to the starting position. So it will look like this. I am, inhale. I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, I am, inhale. I am, inhale. I am, whisper to yourself, silently beautiful. I am prosperous. I am worthy. I am magical. I am enough. I am magnificent. I am, inhale. And I'll join you. I am, 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 I am. 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 Hold your hands 6 inches in front of the heart. Inhaling deeply. Perfect the posture. Hold the breath in. Exhale. Inhaling deeply. Bring in all that goodness, all that beautiful wonder. The magic is yours. Inhale a little bit more. Hold your breath. Exhale through your nose. And inhale through your nose. Open the floodgates of your heart. Move beyond your blockages. Move beyond your resistances. And believe to receive. Exhale that light all around you. We'll do this a few more times. Bring in magical love, magical light, illuminating all your cells. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold your breath. Relaxing your shoulders. Exhale. Inhale, bring that breath into all your cells. Feel your cells dancing. Your DNA is dancing. All that beautiful energy is shining all around you. Your auric field is expanding. The universe is responding. Exhale with a smile. Inhale, smile. Feel that joy. Feel that ease. Feel that bliss. And exhale, relax both of your hands on your lap. Relax your fingers, relax your palms. Take a nice deep inhale, bringing your hands into prayer pose, elbows out to the sides, honoring this magical meditation, honoring yourself, honoring this embrace as we share these teachings together, as we work together to uplift one another and to uplift all, honoring the light, honoring the love, honoring the beauty.